like let's say R2D2 and C3PO were real, and you could have them. Like, who would not want R2D2 C3PO? That would be awesome.
Hi, friends. Welcome back. So that was Mr. Elon Musk talking about his Tesla bot. And yes, he really is saying C3PO, RTD2, Star Wars, the whole bit. And let me play some more for you.
And I think basically everyone's going to want one. So it's like, who wouldn't want, sort of like, there's different ways to think of robots, but like let's say R2D2 and C3PO were real, and you could have them. Like, who would not want R2D2 C3PO? That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like a friendly buddy robot. Now we need to make sure they stay friendly, of course. That's very important.
I was hoping for a Garfield.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of like people get pretty attached to their humanoid robots, just like people, you get attached to C3PO and R2D2.
And guys, I'm going over this stuff because to be perfectly frank, I think Tesla and Elon Musk could end up being the biggest fraud in the stock market history, perhaps in world history. And it's nuts because people are still going along with it. But if you listen to the way this guy talks, it is just way out there. And basically his whole shtick right now is saying, hey guys, you remember all those really cool 1980s movies that I grew up with and you grew up with? We're going to make it real, so please give me your money. Have a listen to this. He's talking about robots and robot skins.
And then you'll be able to sort of, I think, customize how the robot looks as well, long term. Because you can kind of shell or skin the robot however you like. So I think there'll be wide variations in how the robot looks, how the robot looks, and maybe like some third parties could do cool things, just like there's like cool third party wraps of the Cybertruck.
So basically we're talking about robot skins. You can make your robot look any way that you want it to look, right? So whatever fantasy you have with your fantasy robot, you can have it with third parties just the same way you can have your Cybertruck wrapped. You can get your robot wrapped. It's hard to talk about this stuff seriously. And the most craziest thing about it, I already know how it's going to play out. All the Tesla pumpers and the fanboys and the fangirls are going to make YouTube videos of, guys, Elon Musk had this great interview that left the audience speechless, right? I promise you that's what they're going to put out. It's so crazy, the stuff that we're talking about. Take a look at this. There's more.
The Tesla community. But what comes to mind when you think of retail investors for Tesla?
Well, I love retail investors, I have to say. Because I think retail investors or like individual investors are like they're like making a decision to support the company, and that's super appreciated. I think we have the highest retail investor percentage of maybe any company, or maybe certainly one of the highest, and I think that's really a good thing.
So then Elon's going on about, oh yes, our company has lots and lots of retail investors, the highest percentage in the market. We are so awesome. Basically, we can take a bunch of, nowhere to put it, fools, take their money, giving them all these really big promises, and then they think this is normal if a company doesn't deliver. Most important thing is we make them feel good about themselves, make them feel like they're part of a special cult, and they keep giving us money. Now, the funny thing about it, though, is when Elon talks about money, he actually refers to it as like, well, it may change in the future with the way you think about money. So, I mean, might as well give it to me now, right?
I sort of wonder ultimately what money will even mean in the future. Because if you've got robots that, if the cost of goods and services are driven to almost nothing, I think we will, assuming it's a positive future, which I think it probably will be, then we're headed for an age of abundance. I do feel like maybe that like Tesla's kind of in a phase right now, like similar to what NVIDIA was in before NVIDIA stock went bananas.
And moreover, the way Elon talks regards to say, hey, money could be really different in the future. You don't need it. Just give it the money. We'll give you Tesla stock. You'll be awesome. I've also got a buddy who backs me up, Kathy Wood. And Kathy Wood ARK Invest is awesome. Have a listen to this.
And I, like there's going to be sort of ups and downs in the stock price for, random reasons. But I do feel confident that the long-term value of the company will be extremely high. I think, the best analysis I've seen is like Kathy Wood's company, ARK Invest. They've been the most accurate in the past. And it's the value of the company is going to be kind of nutty with unsupervised full self-driving and with Optimus. It's
And I hope you guys understand like just how ludicrous this guy talks. Now, I know every time I make these kind of videos, there's always people out there in the comments, oh, Chris, you're so dumb. You don't realize, Elon's got a vision for the future that is bigger than all of us. He's smarter than all of us. In fact, this is Elon talking about how the car brain is going to be the same brain as the robot brain. And so therefore it will be awesome. Have a listen.
So it's a tremendous amount of work. And I think it'd be very difficult for any company that does not have that's not extremely good at designing actuators to make an effective humanoid robot. And then it'll have the same like brain as the car. So initially hardware 4 and then hardware 5 in 26. And then just as the car is learning how to navigate reality, it's the same basic process for the humanoid robot.
And on top of that, we're talking about how much money you can make with your car. It is going to be 10x the productivity. So he says like you can go from 10 hours of driving to like 100 hours of driving. Think of all the money you're going to make. This is really the stuff that he's talking about. 10x increase. Have a listen.
A typical passenger car is about 10 hours of use a week. It's called like an hour and a half a day for 7 days. So it's about 10 hours. But if it's autonomous, it could be used 100 hours a week. Now, I'm not sure what the average usage would be, but average usage in autonomous mode might be 50 hours, but certainly it could be used 100 hours of 168 hours a week. So that would be a 10x increase in the productivity of the car.
But wait, there's more. When the Robotaxi event comes, it's going to be like the greatest event in human history. It's going to change the world. We're all going to look at each other and like, guys, remember the time when Elon Musk came out and said Robotaxi, and we're all like, "Oh my God, Robotaxi!" And I wish we would have bought all those Robotaxis like right away, because he was selling me these things and he said, we don't need money anymore. I mean, you're just gonna make a bunch of Robotaxis, and you can finance a Robotaxi, you can lease the Robotaxi. You're gonna be so rich. I make jokes of this stuff because the funniest crap is people actually believe the stuff that he says, and I keep telling you guys. I think this is the greatest fraud, greatest con in U.S. history, perhaps, and then perhaps even world history. You're dwarfing what Theranos has done because the amount of money that you're taking in and the amount of lies that you're saying. So at least Theranos over there, they're talking about, hey guys, we got this blood device thing that can like do awesome and everything from your one drop of blood. I mean, Elon's going off on robots, AI, robot brains, Robotaxis increasing productivity, changing the world. But to talk about full self-driving, your energy, and whatever nonsense he comes. Oh, I forgot. We're not even getting into the Mars bases and stuff like that. And also, too, like this whole Tesla thing's got a cult to back him up. So I think it is far greater than Theranos. And also, too, this is a massive valuation. I don't know what it is exactly right now. Maybe it's like 500 billion, 600 billion, whatever crazy number. It is trading at 90 PE, so 9 times over value. It is absolutely insane, this thing. And the other thing that's worse, he's like keeps pumping up Robotaxi stuff. Have a listen to it for yourself.
I think it'll be cool. I think people will be pretty excited. Yeah, it's like I do wonder, like in the actual event itself, how many people will realize how profound it is, what we're going to show? I think some people will understand how profound. Not everyone will, but it will be obvious in hindsight.
And so ultimately, I leave this question with you. Do you believe this guy? Are we going to have our Robotaxi total recall kind of thing? Are we going to have our C3PO, R2-D2 stuff? Do you agree with me that this is the greatest con and greatest fraud in history? Or do you think, no, Chris, you're just too dumb. You're too dumb to realize that robotaxis are going to 10x our money, and we're all going to have buddy robots, and who needs human interaction, right? Who needs even jobs? Because we're going to not even really worry about money anymore. We're going to be the age of abundance, as Elon Musk says. He also says we're going to be able to sell these robotaxis for like $25,000. Everyone's going to want one, right? As if everyone can afford $25,000 on a robot. It's going to take care of your kids, walk your dog, probably lay with you. I'm sure you know what I mean. It's going to do everything that you dreamed about, and you can change the skin at any time that you want. So this is the future that Elon Musk is envisioning. And the sad thing about it, as we showed in the video, him and Kathy Wood are laughing because they know that this company has this large percentage of retail investors that essentially you sell hopes and dreams to. And I guess they think in their world that stocks only go up. And then you have this army of cult, essentially priests on YouTube and other social media that also pump up this nonsense. But I get it, guys. More you know.
Well, I think in terms of what will have the biggest impact in the world, it will be the kind of the robotaxi, dedicated robotaxi. Now, of course, all Tesla vehicles can operate it, or will be able to operate as a robotaxi. Pretty much all. So, but yeah, I think the dedicated robotaxi will have the single biggest effect in the world.
They're going to look at the same footage and they're just going to tell you everything that Elon Musk says is awesome. And this is like, the book of Elon. That's what it is. And all I have to say is, oh my Elon. So anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Please share your thoughts on this. What do you think about this vision of the future? And I'll catch you all in the next video.